Yo, what is going on, everyone? Guiding Light here, back with another quick Destiny 2 guide. And in this one, I'm going to show you guys how you can defeat the boss here called the Blade of Reasoning. Now, this is going to be in the new Final Shape DLC, and it's a little bit of a tricky boss, especially if you're running it solo. There's a lot of steps you need to go through in order to actually take this guy down. And so I wanted to walk you guys through it, just in case maybe you're stuck or want a few tips and tricks. Now, when you guys get into the mission or when you start the boss, there's going to be these two blights on either side, and you need to destroy both of these blights in order to move on to like the next room or the next section of the mission. Now, one thing to keep in mind are these red pools that are on the ground on either side. These red pools are going to give you guys the extra fury energy. So I suggest recharging that as much as you can. As soon as the fight starts, you want to grab that, charge it up. Now, once you guys do destroy those first two blights, it's going to teleport you into this darkened room. And this is where things get tricky, and this is why I wanted to make this video to explain it, because as you can see, there's actually a new buff that will pop up once you guys come into this room. It's going to say shielded from the darkness. Now, this is only going to give you about 40 seconds in order to actually reactivate this buff. If you do not reactivate the buff by the time the timer goes down, you will begin to take damage and will be left one shot until you're eventually finished by an enemy. Now, in order to reset this timer, what you want to do is actually check the four corners of this section of the boss fight. Now, this section is going to have four different corners to it. It's just a giant square, but in each corner, you're going to find one of these nodes or like a spore, as you can see here. Now, as you guys destroy these spores, it's going to reactivate your timer, give you guys about 30 seconds each time you destroy one of these nodes. Now, if you guys run out of these nodes, don't worry too much because they do respawn. It just takes about 20 to 30 seconds for each node to respawn. And keep in mind, guys, if your whole team is standing on it, they'll all get the effects. So it might be a good idea to have your teammates all standing there when you break it. Now, once you guys are in here, the only thing you have to worry about is that shielded from darkness, but there is also another objective that you need to complete. There's going to be two knights that do spawn in this room, and it's very important that when you destroy these knights, that you actually do look at their bodies, because their bodies are going to dissipate, and there will be a symbol left behind, and you will need to keep track of that symbol for later on in the boss fight. If you guys don't have the correct symbol, you'll actually have to start all over again, which can be really tough if you're running on legendary because you're going to run out of tokens. Now, as you can see here, once you destroy those two giant knights, it's going to teleport you back in, and that's where those symbols come into play, because when those knights drop, they're going to drop these symbols, which you will then have to go into the proper well and activate based on whatever symbol drops on that knight. So when we went in, we got one symbol was the bear. As you guys probably saw when we took down that first boss, the bear symbol dropped out. And that means when you teleport back into the main room that you need to activate the well with the bear inside of it. So it's actually a little bit tricky to keep track of all this info, especially when you're trying to fight the boss. But if you've gotten this far in the storyline, you've had to reconnect these wells to these symbols in the past, and it's going to follow that same exact method where you just take down the boss. It's going to show you the symbol, and then you're going to just need to step on the well in order to activate it. Now, you will have to follow this process about 2 or 3 times before you take the boss down, so you'll have a chance to see it again on the next phase. Now, once you guys do activate both wells, you will finally be able to do some damage to the boss, but you will need to first grab a relic that spawns. So after the two wells have been activated, what that's going to do is it's going to spawn a shield. So as you can see, that's the teammate right there just went to hit the second well in that back corner. The shield's going to spawn up. Now you're going to use this shield or the relic, charge up the super on it, and then you're going to use that super in order to take down the super or the shield on the boss, and then you'll be able to actually deal damage to him. So as you can see, it charges up pretty quick. Super on the boss to take down his shield, and then you're going to want to go in and do as much DPS as you can. Now keep in mind, guys, once his health bar does go to half, it's going to reset the phase. So if you're getting close to that halfway mark, don't start wasting supers or anything like that, because he will become immune to damage. So as you can see here, he's not too tough to kill. It's more so just getting to the damage phase. That's the tough part. But keep in mind, guys, you're going to get the energy as well from all the kills around you, and you can actually use that to deal even more damage as well. But either way, guys, we've gotten to the halfway point, and this is going to reset it. You're going to have to go and destroy two blights again, but this time around, you're going to be able to go into these pools so that you can activate your rage. Now, you'll notice that the blights are in a slightly different spot, but it's the same exact premise. You're just going to destroy the two blights. It's going to allow you to teleport back into that room where you can kill the two knights and get the symbols to unlock the shield and do damage to the boss. So as you can see, both blights have been destroyed. We're going to teleport back in. Now, before teleporting back in, though, I am going to charge up this rage here. So it's going to make a lot easier when we go inside to take down these knights because you can pop that for extra damage and extra grenade energy, things like that. So teleport back in. It's going to be the same thing. There's going to be the two knights that running around and then the two big enemies as well. So if you use a super on it, it actually will take him down pretty quickly. And I suggest using your super on it actually because he can teleport and run away, can make the fight a little bit annoying. So you want to just kill him as fast as you can. Now, just keep in mind, guys, that you need to try to keep track of wherever you finish the enemy off because they are going to have that symbol on their area and it's going to show you guys how to unlock the boss's shield. So as you can see here, finish off the enemy and the symbol will spawn in. Now, it was going pretty quickly and I just wanted to make sure to get this done after trying so many attempts at it, but that symbol will pop up every single time once these enemies are defeated. So once I defeat the second one, you should see that one as well. There's only about 3 or 4 different symbols that can pop up. One is like a bear. One looks sort of like a ghost. The one we just got dropped this time was a wedge, I like to call it, but it looks sort of like a triangle, but I just call it the wedge. There's another symbol that actually is like the triangle from the PlayStation. So just make sure you get the right symbol this time and then just match it up with the well when you go back into the main room in order to actually unlock the boss's shield. So as you can see here, we kind of got stuck running around for like a minute or two because the boss or the knight sometimes likes to disappear or just reappear in certain areas. So that's why we couldn't find him at first. Keep in mind though, guys, you need to also keep that buff activated, the shield from darkness buff, and you can do that by going to any of the 4 corners of the map. So periodically you want to be going back there, reactivating your buff so that you do not hit 0 seconds on that because it will also take you down and end the fight as well. So that's pretty much it for this one, guys. I'm going to let you guys watch the rest of this boss fight. It's only about another minute or so. And that's pretty much it. So hopefully it helps you guys out. And I will catch you in the next one. Peace.